Hi, and welcome to Creative Pizzazz. This is Leslie. Today I'm going to show you a project that I've been working on, and there's also a blooper video that goes with this, so get ready for that one too. This project is for a little girl who's 5 years old this year, and this is her birthday present. And I'll tell you what products and all I use, but I'm going to walk you through what the gift is first. So when she gets this gift, there will be some utensils, a whisk and the little spatula and a rolling pin, and all of this came from Michael's from the dollar bin. And then she'll open the gift, which is a paint can, and in it there is a chef's hat, and it has a strawberry on it, and it opens all the way out, and it's got Velcro. It's full size. There is an apron that has a strawberry on it as well, and a pocket. Then I'm giving her some cookie cutters, a little crayon, a castle, a high heel shoe. And then finally, what she'll find in the paint can is a recipe. And of course this is for her and her mom, but there's a recipe for roll out sugar cookies. And also inside she'll find colored sugars. And if you didn't know how to make colored sugars, all you do is take regular sugar and put it in like a coffee cup. Add a drop of the food colorings that you want to use. And then I did about 5 drops, and so it's pretty heavy amount of coloring that I used. And mix it up really well with a spoon, and kind of have to scrub all the little, there'll be little balls of dye. I cannot even think of what that, clumps. It would be clumps down inside of there, so you'll have to kind of scrub those with a spoon. And then what I did, because it does make the sugar melt wet, and I needed to package it up pretty quick, what I did was I spread the sugar out on a paper towel and let it dry. It took about an hour. Well, I left it in there for an hour, and then it was completely dry. Then I just added them to Ziploc bags and put them inside this cellophane bag. Okay. Then I also mixed up the sugar. Measured out the sugar that she would need, so this is all ready for her, and I put that on a little top note and used the tiny attacher there. And then I mixed all the other ingredients, the baking powder, the baking powder, the flour, and the salt, and all of that's mixed in here for her. So then all she has to do is take those ingredients, and she's got everything she needs to make the first batch of cookies. Okay, now I'll go through and tell you about the project itself. So this is a paint can. It was just a clear paint can, and you can get these at Michael's. And these are great for packing gifts in, just like I did. But you can also use them to store ribbons or lace, any sort of items like that. I added some ribbons over here on the side. This is just some grosgrain and chiffon ribbons, in some pale pinks, a little green, and white. The papers that I used here, I chose this strawberry paper based on the fact that the apron and the chef's hat had strawberries on it. And this paper is from the Die Cuts with a View nursery stack for girls, and so it was just perfect. And there's a lot of great papers in there that aren't exactly baby papers, and so they're great for girls and girl mini albums. And so this is one of them there. And then this is one also, this striped paper. I used the storybook cartridge for the Cricut, and I cut out her monogram initials here, and I also cut them out in white as the shadow. I fussy cut a strawberry, and then hot glued that onto the C. And the way you can get dimension with hot glue, the same as you would if you're using dimensionals or foam dots or anything like that. I don't think you can see the glue back there. Anyway, you can get dimension by putting a dot of glue and letting it dry. And then when you put another dot on top and you glue it down and press it flat as you can get it, it's going to stay off your paper a little bit. And that's kind of the effect that I wanted. I added glossy accents to the top of the cardstock and added dazzling diamonds to the glossy accents. And I had to put 2 coats of glossy accents on there to get it as thick as I wanted. But it worked out really well. It's really sharp. And this paper is already glittered. Most of the sheets in this Die Cuts with a View stack, or DCWV stack, is already glittered. And so these strawberries already had some, a little bit of glitter on them anyway. I then had this ribbon that I got from Stampin' Up! A long time ago, and it was already gathered like this, and I just thought it would be great. It sort of matched pretty well with what I was doing. So I put that around the top and the bottom. And the main reason I put that around the top and the bottom is because if you can look inside there, you can see how this paper that's coming around and then this one that comes around from the front, it took 2 pieces of 12-inch cardstock to go all the way around, and they don't quite meet up perfectly, you know, at the top and the bottom. So this ribbon was perfect to hide all those errors that I made. Plus, when I was putting this cardstock down, and this is kind of a tip for you all when you're making yours too, I had ATG tape all over the back of this piece of cardstock. It stuck down, and ATG is usually forgiving enough that you can peel it back up pretty quick, and you would think being on this plastic it would have peeled up pretty quick, but it did not. So there's some sort of bubbly places that aren't really stuck down well, but that ribbon and the texture of the ribbon specifically hides all the bubbles behind the cardstock so that you can't see it. So that was really good. Okay, here's the lid of the paint can. And what I did was I cut a circle to fit the inside of the paint can, and you'll find out why on the bloopers video. And then for the outside of the paint lid, again, I just laid the lid down on a piece of cardstock, and I drew out that circle. I sprayed the circle with my homemade Frost White Shimmer Mist, so it's just a white pearl acrylic paint mixed with water, and that gives me a Frost White Shimmer paint. It's just white shimmer. I also use this Royal Amber Fire Glitz Spritz from Lindy's Stamp Gang, and it's sort of a goldish shimmer, and so that really shimmered up the back cardstock in the background. It also sort of made it splotchy, so I had to do something you know, about that. I put ribbon around the edge just to kind of continue the same theme of that ribbon, so I just hot glued that down. Then I used Wild Orchid Craft Flowers, and I used the Wild Orchid Craft Rose that I did the tip painting so that it would look like one of those tipped roses. That's what I always called them when I was young. I'm not really sure what they're called, but they have, you know, the ends of their petals are always a different color, and I hope you can see that difference in coloration there. So it's white, and then it's got that pink, and then it shimmers like crazy, because after I got through, I even sprayed it with my white shimmer mist. But there's a video on how I did this rose that you can watch as well. This was either a 35 or a 40 millimeter rose from Wild Orchid Crafts that I used. I then used some of these small ones, and these are probably 10 or so. I can't remember exactly what size those were, but they're just little pink ones, and I sprayed those with white shimmer mist also. Here's some 4 millimeter rosebuds. They're tight 4 millimeter rosebuds, and they're absolutely precious. When I first got them, I thought, oh no, those are too small to even use, but they absolutely look too cute. And I left them on their wire so that they could pop up and give some dimension and stick off of the project a little bit. And I just think that it's just the most precious thing. This is one of the curl vintage roses. I think maybe trellis roses or curled roses. But those are really pretty too. And I sprayed it with white shimmer paint. I usually buy all of my roses and things in a white color or a pale pink because those are easily colored with any of your shimmer sprays that you use. And that way I have a world of possibilities ahead of me. This is the, I think these are, these are either cherry blossoms. I should have looked at my invoice before I started. These are either cherry blossoms or heliotropes or something like that. Anyway, they're absolutely stunning, and it has a little bit of pink on the edges, and I don't think you can pick up that pink. Maybe you can a little bit. I don't know. But it's really, really gorgeous, and I love the stamens in the middle of it. I sprayed it again with white shimmer paint, and it's just beautiful. This is another mini rose, and I did this one. This is a homemade shimmer mist that I use. I put it in this little... Okay, this is another little rose, and I sprayed that with some Lindy Stamp Gang Ramblin' Rose Red, and it was really dark red. So when I did this one, I knew I didn't want to do the whole flower because I didn't. Well, it's not that it's red; it's kind of a deep pink. But I knew I didn't want it to be that dark, but I didn't mind it being dark here. It's actually really pretty like that. I countered that with a bling, just a pink bling that I had in my stash. I actually think this might have been in the stash that I got from Olga, because she sent me some great bling, and I think this actually might have been in that container. I have that container out, so it could have been in there. I don't remember. I also have a stash full of bling, just a whole little jar here. So, okay, and then I fussy cut some strawberries again out of the pack. The DCWV paper. I glued one of these mini roses ended up here because it had hot glue on it, and I dropped it, and I knew that was going to mess up the paper. And I actually sort of liked the idea that it was over here by itself, kind of separated from the flowers, so I just decided to leave it. And then I was just going to add some of these strawberries in also. So I put one down, and then I did my technique of doing a little bit of dimension with the hot glue by adding a drop, letting it dry, and then gluing it down. So that's how I get dimension on these that are on top. Here. I added a little more glitter to the seed areas of these strawberries. I think you can tell that. These flower stickers and this leaf sticker came off of sheet from my daughter's stash. She has some things, and that came off of hers. And I added some glossy accents, and then I added Dazzling Diamonds glitter, which is a mixture of Dazzling Diamonds and crystal glitter from Martha Stewart. So it's just whatever clear iridescent glitter that I can find, and that's what I used there. So that's the project. A paint can gift, and the paint can becomes a gift in itself. And so thank you very much for stopping by, and have a good day.